Whatever by Big Lon Sun is our third record. Kylie, do you want to kick us off on this one? I think it's an artist that in general we weren't overly familiar with.
Yeah,
Um,
I think this was Andrew's pick.
yeah,
Do you want to read what he had to say about it, and we'll build
yeah.
out?
So let's go to Andrew first then.
Yeah, it's
Um, whose pick it was? So he put some strong moments on here, but a bit messy, and spoke like Zara, a real low point. Lots of potential on this album, but an EP would have worked better. So, um, sounds like he
yeah,
enjoyed some of it, didn't like a lot of it, and he thinks it could have been shorter.
yeah. So this is uh Jamie Broughton from Brighton. Your way, Broughton from Brighton, and I think this is his debut LP. 24 years old, makes a bedroom pop, and yeah, I enjoyed this record. I think a good middle of the road indie record. There's a lot of really fun little electronic things going on here and there. I appreciate the lo-fi bedroomness of it. Kind of reminds me of those early Alex G records that we were just talking about. The rawness of it. I also have to give a shout out because we're talking about Sony, and uh, Ninja Tune's a pretty big label too, but this is on a small label and it's on cassette and digital, which is someone
Love to
from
see it.
running a cassette label. I love to see the cassettes. Uh, and yeah, I'm with Andrew. I enjoy this record. I think it is a little bit overly long, but it did enough for me to kind of be curious on what's next for this project. There's a lot of it reminds me of Joe Joe Keery, DJO, the dude from Stranger Things. Like
Mm.
it has that kind of random fun that his records have. Um, and I think maybe just focusing that a little bit more. I was also reading online that apparently the live version of uh, of Big Long Sun is an 8-member effort. So I'd also be curious to see, what these songs sound like live. But anyway, yeah, I think a good debut. Happy to celebrate a little indie release, and yeah, curious what's next.
Excellent. So, I mean, I'll keep mine brief because I wasn't as much of a fan, I would say, as your Andrew with this one. It was a long 31 minutes for me. Um, Obviously nowhere near as offensive as the male record or some of the others that we've covered in the past. It's one of those where I appreciate what they're doing here. I think To Fold early on, Boom Bam, some nice elements to those songs. And I think uh, Andrew said he didn't like the Spokes era. But I think, to be honest, that was one where I was like, when the mood's right, I don't think that one's too bad either. But overall, it's just one of those that's probably not for me. I mean, I'm a big fan of Klaxons, and I think at the best they reminded me a bit of that. A casual dance between friends, in particular, that sounded like something. One of the songs off Myths from the Near Future. It's really got that kind of vibe about it. Um, I even got a bit of like Tame Impala in there mixed in as well. Now that you mentioned kind of like Alex G, I can hear that coming through too. But yeah, I think it's one of those experimental records where they seem to throw everything into the mix to the point that it just ends up sounding to me like something unpleasant. The songs like a Dove, Fast Like I Like My Money, The Chicken or the Egg. Those are the tracks on here where it just loses me and I just want to turn it off. It's
Yeah,
yeah, it's one of those that um Yeah, at times as well, maybe a bit too meandering, a bit too plodding. Um, yeah, it's definitely on those moments where I'm like, I'm ready to move on to the next thing, I would say. But like like you said, first album, I'm sure he's still working through his sound, figuring stuff out. And I'll just shout out as well. I know Andrew picked this um, from one of our favorite kind of promoters or band promoters, Elvis. I can't remember his last name now. That's awful of me, but Elvis from Blue Moon PR, who sent this one, just absolute legend. He's put me onto some real great music in the past, and yeah, this is a little, independent artist, and it's just good to give him a shout out on the pod. But yeah, it's also one of those where sometimes you just admit defeat, say, yeah, this one isn't for me, but it might be for someone else. So that's the good thing. Um, so yeah, a bit of a mixed response to Big Long Sun there.